everyone. It is the middle of the day and I am excited to come back to you now and talk about the time requirement to build this business. But first, I realized something. It's the third video that I've made for you guys today, and some of you are great friends of mine, some of you have been challengers of mine in the past, and some of you I've never really talked to, and we've just connected on social media. So I wanted to just take a minute and quickly introduce myself to you. My name is Maeganblinka, and I have been coaching now with Beachbody for 3.5 years. I started really just as my own fitness journey. I was about 8 months postpartum with my second child, and I was amongst the fortunate group in round one after having my daughter, where I didn't really have to work that hard to lose the baby weight. We were busy, we were active. She was born in the summer. We were outside every day, and my body was different, but the weight came off relatively easy. Second time around, I was brand new into stay-at-home mom role. I had been a public accountant prior to that. I have a background in finance and accounting, and I had my dream come true whenever we decided we could pinch enough pennies, put it all together, and I could stay home after having my second child. It's all I wanted, and it was far from anything I imagined it to be. While I was grateful to be home with them, I was, blindsided by the amount of work these tiny little kids took, and, they didn't sleep, and I wasn't, I had all these dreams whenever I was coming to my last days of work, telling my husband, I'm going to cook these cold dinners, and we're just going to do all this stuff. And I was exhausted. And I remember the day my husband and I were sitting on the floor with our two kids, laying around us. It was probably 6 o'clock in the evening. And I'm like, we are so tired, and we're young, and we're not overweight. What the heck is wrong with us? And why aren't we doing more? It just kind of hit me, and we flipped a switch and we did it together. And when I joined my first challenge group, my coach literally just put me in there. I was trying to do it all on my own. I just wanted something I could do at home around my schedule and not have to go to any classes or pay for a babysitter. And she put me in this group, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm cool on my own. And she's like, well, just check it out. And I was amazed at the support that I got and the camaraderie of this group that empowered me to want to stay committed, that wanted me to stay on track with my meal plan. And I got results for the first time in this home fitness program that I then wanted to do it too. So it was a 21-day challenge group. It was the 21-day fix program, and within 2 weeks, I was actually already signed up as a coach. So that's just a little bit backstory on how I actually got to the point of becoming a coach 3.5 years ago. And what my day looks like today and the hours I put in today are not what they look like when I got started, because I sit here today with a team of working coaches, with challengers, not just new challengers each month, but I have, challengers that I've connected with over the last 3.5 years. My conversations and the activities that I'm doing are probably in more volume now than they were 3.5 years ago, but what I'm doing has remained the same. And, like I shared earlier, I get up and I work out. I drink my shake each day, which I was going to make you guys a video making my shake, and it was getting my daughter ready for school and on the bus, and my son threw a fit because we couldn't find his baseball belt, which he has a game tonight at 6, and at 8 a.m. that was his priority. So going live to make a shake this morning didn't exactly help, but the activities that I do personally haven't changed. And then from a business aspect, I now spend a lot of my time, building relationships through social media. That's I like to think of myself as a professional friend maker. I am networking and connecting with other women who like me, who, whether they need a solution to their fitness, or they need a solution to, a business or an additional income or a place to be surrounded with other like-minded women, and whatever it may be, I have the ability to provide that solution for other people. And that is my job. That is my role, is to find those people who I can connect with and help them get started and stay continued and stay committed. So in the beginning, what my day was included sharing my own journey on social media. I've talked about that countless times. As you guys can see, that's a part of this. And then I would just research. I think of it when you start a new job and you don't really have a lot of tasks that you're in charge of because you haven't learned a whole lot yet. You research other things. And I would just go on YouTube and I would just look up, coaches' names and check out their YouTube channels and, read about how they're marketing their month or how they are finding new people on Instagram or how they're building a blog. And I just started researching. And that is really one of the things that I think helped me get started was, I was so excited to learn. Nobody told me to go on YouTube and start researching stuff. I was like, well, I don't have a slew of challengers to check into or a bunch of challenge groups or a team page to run. It's just like me and like 2 people right now, and they're my family. So what can I do to make that more and to learn more and to reach more people? And one of the things I did in the beginning was starting a blog. Most people don't start a blog because it takes a lot of extra time and effort and energy, but that was something I was willing to do. I wanted an avenue to share my journey beyond just social media and posting on my Facebook page. And by creating a blog with no blogging experience and someone who actually kind of despises actually writing, I created a blog very quickly into my coaching journey. And it's a tool I still use today. It's a tool I use to share recipes with people, even if they're not customers. People love new recipes. Share my recipes. I share what's going on with my business. I share, different events that I'm going to and how I got there and why I'm there and what we're doing. And my blog was something that I invested time in that not everyone does, but I took that mentality that I'm going to give this my all for a year straight. I'm going to follow the leaders. I'm going to do what the other successful people are doing and what they're telling me to do. And if I duplicate that, what will happen? And that was my beginning mindset. And I still remember coming up on that 1 year mark being like, well, I'm sure as heck not stopping now. So your time commitment, to make a long story short, is whatever you can put into it. I have coaches who work full-time, have kids. They don't have a lot of extra time, but they love it. Like, they love what they're able to do, and they love the products and programs. It's kind of like they carve out an hour a day. Maybe it's 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. Maybe it's an hour at the end of the day. Maybe it's their lunch break that they, instead of going out to lunch, they sit at their desk and they answer messages or they share on social media, whatever it may be. An hour a day is enough to allow you to get started. And if you want to do more, like creating a blog, creating pretty images on social media, that like doing extra stuff, you can invest that. And I'd say probably like the first 2 to 3 months, it was more of like a 45-minute, an hour a day, if that. And it was me putting my posts on social media and then being like, okay, like what else can I learn, and learning. And we do have team calls every Monday night where we get together as a big, large team and we share things. I spoke on this week's Monday night call. I'm not always the speaker. We rotate through speakers and different leaders that you get to hear different people's experiences and what's working for them. And that Monday night team call was something I always made a priority, because the people who are taking their time to share have something to say. And I would sit there and I'd listen and I would take it into action. And I won't lie, I don't sit in the living room at night and watch TV. I have not for 3.5 years. That was the first thing I nixed. That was the easiest thing for me to cut out, because I'm like, look, that's not really doing anything for my future. And if I can take an hour at the end of the day, when my husband's unwinding from his work day, and I can connect with these other women and chit chat, like, that fulfilled me. And it was what was building my business. So that's an easy thing that you can do. I also used to just sleep until my kids got up, because they were awful sleepers. So I took whatever I could get. And that was something else that I did in the very beginning, was I said, okay, I'm getting up at 5. I might get up at 5 and my kids might have got up at 5:05. But if I got up at 5 and they slept until 6:37, that allowed me to get up, to work out, to get some work in before they got up. And then if, God willing, they took a nap or rested in the afternoon, I might be able to do some work then. And then it was always when they went down at night. Now today, as I am 3.5 years in, and my daughter's now in full day, first grade. She's in school all day now for the first year. And my son will be in preschool Monday through Friday mornings for 2.5 hours. So not a whole lot of time, but it gives me a little bit of time each day to catch up on messages, to create blog posts. One of the things I'm doing here right after I talk to you guys, before I go grab my son, is I'm going to make my marketing calendar for the month. I'm going to figure, I've already kind of brainstormed and got some rough ideas. I'm going to put it into writing. I'm going to share that with my team so that they can see how I'm attacking September, and provide some ideas of how they too can, get a good head start and a run on September, because every month is different. If you look at the way I post and share on social media, there's always something different that I'm offering, because there's always something different we're coming across. And I try to be proactive and think, okay, well, Labor Day, I'm doing a 3-day refresh group. It's like this 3-day vegan plant-based cleanse that I'm going to do with some of my challengers next week after Labor Day, end of summer. So thinking about that that calendar, creating a newsletter that I send to my customers, that all came later. So now, and I probably should track it better. I'd say I work anywhere between 25 and 35 hours a week. And that is spread throughout a day. Like, I don't ever sit down and get 8 hours in a day or 5 hours in a day for that matter. It's very sporadic. I do usually, in the beginning, I spent a lot of time on the weekends. I would work a lot on the weekends. Now I really try to get everything done kind of like Sunday through Thursday to kind of kick back. And I still do little bits on the weekend because there's always new people coming in and new things to talk about and new questions to answer and emails or whatnot. But I do try to get it a little bit more regimented. So I do have some breaks. And I'll share that when my nephews came to visit the week before school started and they were here for 5 days, and then we went away to a friend's lake house for the weekend. I didn't do much of anything that week. I wasn't totally unplugged. I still shared on social media, but I wasn't blogging. I wasn't creating newsletters. I wasn't doing that kind of stuff. So it's really up to you and how much extra stuff you want to go into. But I'd say at a minimum, you need 30 minutes to an hour every single day that you're going to consistently do those basic things to continue to build and share your network. So I hope that answers your question on to what it takes, the time commitment it takes. And then the other thing I want to touch on briefly was just what does it cost? Because it's actually very minimal. If you sign up to be a coach, there's a couple ways you can sign up. For one, you can sign up with a challenge pack, and that is what most people start with. But buying a challenge pack waives the sign up fee. So there's a $40 sign up fee to become a coach. Think about some other businesses out there. There's a lot more money that you have to invest to get started than $40. But if you just said, I'm gonna try this, I don't know anything about it, but I'm gonna sign up, you pay $40. If you want to sign up with a challenge pack, so that would give you our fitness programs or our Shakeology, so that you can start to figure out what are we doing, what are we trying to get into the hands of other people, and what are we trying to help them with, and what are we trying to help them use to achieve their goals. That challenge pack would actually waive the $40 fee. And the most common one is the Beachbody On Demand All Access that gives you a month of streaming to all the programs, along with Shakeology, along with our Portion Fix Nutrition, along with the Shaker Cup. That all comes bundled together. It's $160 US, and I want to say 186 Canadian, and it's not quite available in the UK, but it will be shortly. And that range is what that challenge pack is, and most of them are around that amount. That would waive your fee, and then you'd kind of have like what you need to get started. So not a whole lot goes into the cost aspect. On an ongoing basis after you've signed up, there's a $15.95 monthly fee. It is locally taxed by state. So in Pennsylvania, it's $16.91 is what the total ends up to be. So somewhere around $16, $17 is your monthly fee. And that's basically because Beachbody takes care of your customer service. You don't hold inventory as a coach. You can't come to my house and say, I want to buy this program or this supplement. Like, I don't have to keep that here. They handle all the inventory side of it. They ship it all. They handle any customer service issues that you may have. They do all the marketing, not all the marketing, but they do some marketing for us and provide some tools for us and trainings for us. And they do all that back end stuff. And that is your monthly coach service fee. Now, I shared before, you can be a coach just for a discount. If you are a discount coach, you still pay that fee. But as a coach, we're getting a 25% discount on all the products. So even if you were a coach just for the discount, you would still save about $15 a month on your Shakeology. And you would save 25% on any other supplements or any other products that you use. And then, from a business aspect, if you're in this to build a business, that $15, $16 monthly fee, that goes to cover all the back end servicing that Beachbody does for you. So that's a quick rundown on the cost of signing up to become a coach. Oh, no, one more thing. Sorry. Military. If you are active duty or you're an active duty a spouse of an active duty military, or you are a veteran yourself, you actually don't have to pay that monthly fee, and the sign up fee is waived. So that's just something else I want to throw out there, because I know I even have like my grandparents, they drink Shakeology, and they're discount coaches of mine because my grandfather's a veteran. Similar, my sister's active duty military, so she's a coach of mine. She doesn't actively coach, but she gets that discount on Shakeology, and she doesn't pay the $15 fee, and she didn't have to pay that sign up fee either. So that's the other aspect of cost. And then I went into the time. If you have specific questions about any of that stuff, please drop them below the video. Share them in here. I'm happy to answer anything else, but I am going to make my marketing calendar for September, and then I'll be back later on today to share more. All right, have a great day.